going to put standard form. Or if you don't have room at the top, put it at the bottom. So standard form is you're going to arrange terms highest exponent to lowest exponent. Now when I say lowest exponent, that lowest exponent might just be a number. Okay? A number doesn't have an exponent. If I have just the number 4, there's no exponent with that. Okay, so that would be your lowest there. Okay? We have classified these in the past, but we're going to classify them again just in case you forgot. And we really didn't classify 3, 4, and 5 by degrees. So those might be terminology you remember, terminology you don't remember from the past. So if I'm looking at my degree, so my degree is my exponent. So when I say the word degree, that means your exponent, and I'm always going to look at the highest degree or the highest exponent. If there isn't an exponent, okay, for instance, you only have the number, like I mentioned before, 4. That is called a, does anybody know? It's called a constant. And I'm going to give you an example of that right here. All the other ones I'll give you an example later. But a constant, we'll just put 7. Okay, so a constant is just going to be a number. Then we are going to have degree 1. So degree 1, things that we've looked at this year so far, y equals mx plus b. What did that graph as? A line. Okay? So those were all degree 1, so those are linear. And if you look at the word linear, it has the word line in it. Okay? 2, when we did parabolas. Parabolas were all degree 2, and those were considered quadratics. Okay, so degree 2 is quadratics. A lot of people want to think quad meaning 4 and want to think that's degree 4, and that's incorrect. So degree 2 are all quadratics. And we've spent the whole year up until 4th quarter doing linear and quadratics. Okay, those are the 2 things that were covered on your exam just last week. Okay, so degree 3, any ideas? Yes, it is cubic. Degree 3 is cubic. Degree 4. Nope, I don't have any culinary students in here, do I? So when I think of degree 4, I think that there's 4 quarts in a gallon. So it's quartic. And then 5. Think of babies have, yes, it's quintuplet, so it's quinic. That should be a C, not an N. Oh, it's a C. It was a messed up C, and I tried to correct it, so it's a C. Do you want me to go like this? There. Okay, so those are the terms that you're going to, or the vocab that you're going to need to be able to use. Now, on the other side of the table, it talks about the number of terms. So if I only have one thing, remember we're talking about polynomials, so it's something nomial. Which one represents 1? What's the prefix for that? Monomial. Okay, if I have 2, it's something nomial. What's the prefix? Binomial. Rico, 3 is trinomial, meaning 3. Okay? And 4 or more, I'm just going to put an arrow, I'm not going to write it off. 4 or more are polynomials. We just group all of those together. So some of those terminology you should remember, hopefully. Some of it might be a little new to you, but nothing too difficult for you to look at there. Okay, so the rest of the notes is going to have 8 example problems. Okay, I'm going to write out like on a page what you would see, so the directions. So for these examples, you're going to write, and you don't have to write this down if you don't want to. You can if you want. So you're going to write in standard form. You're going to classify by degree and number of terms. Okay, so we're going to do 8 problems. Each problem is going to have 3 parts to it. The first part will be put it in standard form, highest degree to lowest degree. The next part will be to use your terminology in that first column, because that's degree. And the last part, part 3, will be to use that terminology in your last column, monomial, binomial, trinomial, polynomial. Okay? That's all we're going to work with today. Okay, so the first one, we'll start out easy. The first one, I have 3x cubed minus x plus 5x to the 4th. So that is my problem. I need to write it in standard form. So what term comes first? 5x to the 4th. Then what? Yes, plus 3x cubed, and the last term then would be minus x. Okay, the degree goes down. It goes 4, 3, and then 1. Okay. So, if I classify this by degree, the highest degree is 4. What is that terminology for degree 4? Quartic. So this is going to be a quartic. And then how many terms are here? 1, 2, 3. So 3 terms is trinomial. So this is a quartic trinomial. That's it. Should be a pretty easy Tuesday or Thursday. It's not Tuesday. Let's not go back in the week. Okay, so number 2, 3 minus 4x to the 5th plus 2x cubed plus 10x. Bless you. Okay, anybody want to put that in the correct order? Charlie, is that you? Okay. Negative 4x to the 5th very good. Okay, degree. Charlie, degree would be quintic, because it's degree 5. And then how many terms? Polynomial, because there's 4 terms there. Okay. You got Question 3. In parentheses, you have 4x cubed minus x squared, close my parentheses, plus, open another parenthesis, 7x squared plus x cubed. Do or does this problem need the parentheses? Why are the parentheses there? Do they have any meaning? Nope. They don't have any meaning. They don't need to be there. The reason why I put this in your notes is because this one and the next one is one of them that I typically see on an ACT. Okay? These parentheses do not need to be there. Okay? I could write down the same problem without the parentheses and it would be fine. Okay? So, all I have to do is combine like terms. So if I have 4x cubed, that is like x cubed here. So what's 4x cubed plus x cubed? 5x cubed. Okay? And then I'm going to have negative x squared and 7x squared, which is going to give me plus 6x squared. Now, classify it. Degree, cubic, and how many terms? Binomial, 2 terms. So if there's a plus sign in between there, it doesn't have any meaning. You can drop the parentheses. Now, does it change if I have this? Okay, so I'll let you write it down, and then you have a negative in between your parentheses. Okay, so does this have meaning having a negative in between 2 parentheses? Yes, it does. Okay, a plus sign doesn't matter, but the negative does, because in essence, you have to take this negative and you have to distribute it to everything in that second parenthesis. Now, when you distribute a negative, what happens to everything on the inside of the parentheses? It becomes the opposite sign. So the first parenthesis stays the same. The second parenthesis, if I take the opposite, or a negative 4x cubed would be a positive 4x cubed. A negative x squared would be a positive x squared. And then a negative x. Okay, so if there is a negative in between the parentheses, then this is the one you see more often than the plus sign. You have to distribute it. Now, combine like terms. Okay? Now, do I want to start with the 3 or do I want to start with the highest degree exponent? Highest degree. So if I look here, I have negative 8x cubed plus 4x cubed. What is that going to give you? Negative 4x cubed. Okay? Then I have plus 2x squared plus x squared plus 3x squared. Now, are the 2 terms that are left like terms? No. So what do I do with them? I leave them, so I write them down. Which one comes first? The x. So it's negative x plus 3. Bless you. And so if I'm going to classify this by degree, it is degree 3, so that is cubic. And then there's how many terms? Polynomial, 4 terms. Okay, 5. 6x minus 7x. That's it. 6x minus 7x. What are you going to do? Subtract them. So what's 6x minus 7x? Negative 1x, or can I just put negative x? Okay? And so if I classify this by degree, what's the degree here? It's a monomial, that's terms. By degree, this is degree 1, so this is linear. And then there's one term, so it's a monomial. Okay, 6. Okay, this is very much like number 4. It has a negative in front of the parentheses, so I have to distribute it. When I distribute it, what am I going to get? Negative 5 plus x. Now, is that in standard form?
Yes.
No, that is not in standard form. Standard form would be x minus 5. So that's the correct way to write it. And Rico, degree. So degree would be, it's not a constant, it's not just a number. It's linear, and then term. How many terms are there? 2, so it's binomial.
So the degrees are how many x's are there?
Degree is the highest exponent. This is 1. This is 3. Okay? Okay, last 2. Question number 7. Okay, so we are going to distribute the 4x squared. Okay, so you have 4x squared times x squared. What does that give you? 4x, nope, to the 4th. Okay, this is how you need to think about this. How many x's are here when it says x squared? How many x's are there? 2, right? And how many x's are with this x squared? 2. So if there's 2 out front and there's 2 inside, how many x's are you going to have total? 4.
So you don't multiply them, you add them together. Okay.
Right. You just add them together. Okay? So the next one, we have 4 times 2, which is going to give you 8x cubed, because there's 2 outside and 1 there. So that's 3. So this would be plus 8x cubed. And then 4x squared times negative 7.
28x.
Positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative 28x squared. Okay, classify it by degree. The degree would be quartic. Quartic, and then terms. How many terms are there? Nope, it's not a polynomial. It's a trinomial. There's 3 terms. Okay, the last one, we did this not too long ago in your notes. If I have 2 parentheses right next to each other, does anybody remember how to do this problem? Cornelius? Okay, so I'm going to distribute the 2x times x, which is going to be?
2x to the second.
Yep. And then 2x times negative 3?
Is 6x to, yeah, no, negative 6x.
Negative 6x. And then what do I do?
And then you distribute the 4.
Yep, distribute the 4. So negative 4 times x, Cornelius?
Negative 4. 4x.
Yes. And negative 4 times negative 3?
Is 12.
Positive 12. Then what do I need to do?
You gotta do your combined like terms, so it'll be negative 6x minus 4x, which is 10x, negative 10x.
Yep.
Plus 12, and it's going to be a quadratic,
Yes, it's quadratic.
and then it's going to be a trinomial.
Perfect. Very good. So today, the exit slip is just focusing on the vocab, get the vocab down. Tomorrow, we'll focus on the